Ashoka's palace name is Pachmahla, folks. Ashoka's palace name is Pachmahla. Folks, that's his palace. A descendant of Ashoka is showing me around the palace area. And folks, this is a brick of Ashoka's palace. Imagine it, a brick of Ashoka's palace. And why is it called Pachmahla? Why is it called Pachmahla? Why is Ashoka's palace called Pachmahla? Folks, to understand why Ashoka's palace is called Pachmahla, view this video till the end. Thank you. Now, my friends, I have shown you a lot of videos of Ashoka's first Sangramas and the old palace and what do you call it, his relic stupas. I'm sure you would like to see Ashoka's palace. Ashoka's palace. Well, his palace is called Pachmahla. Not Pachmahla, not the 5-letter word. 5 is not Pachmahla, it's Pachmahla. Now, Pach means indigestion. Indigestion. Folks, Ashoka died of indigestion. So after his death, the people loved him so much. His palace came to be known as the palace in which he had indigestion. Pachmahla. Folks, that is proof that Pachmahla is Ashoka's palace. Now, what do you call it? Another proof that Pachmahla is Ashoka's palace is just close by is what do you call it? Rally, where the Bell Stupa, where the debates took place, and just close to that is Ashoka's hell, and just close to Pachmahla is Ashoka's first Buddha relic stupa, which is Pandarak, folks. Now, I will tell you about Pandarak, the first Buddha relic stupa, in a different video. Now about Pachmahla. See, there are 3 or 4 Pachmahlas. Now, I had told you that there were 2 first Ashokan first Sangramas, which he opened after a lot of thinking, deep thinking. You know, that is what Chintaman means, Chintaman Chak. And then there were 2 relic stupas, Ashoka's 2 relic stupas, one for the Yadavs and one for the Brahmins. Now, what do you call it? He must have had several palaces. And there are 4 Pachmahalas. 4 Pachmahalas. See, Pach means indigestion. Ashoka died of indigestion. So there were 4 Pachmahalas. One Pachmahala is next to Moldiyar Tola, which was his relic stupa, and what do you call it? This Chintaman Chak, which is his first Sangrama. And then another the second Pachmahla is, the main Pachmahla, is next to, what do you call it? Is next to Lemuabad, his relic stupa. Lemuabad, his relic stupa, and Chintaman Chak, the Greeks, what do you call it, or the Jadavs Sangrama. And of course the what do you call it, first Ashokan Buddha relic stupa, which is Pandarak, and the what do you call it, Bell Stupa, where he made people do debates. Pachmahla is right in the middle, folks. And the unique thing about Pachmahla is Ashoka, he went all over India, you know, trying to, what do you call it, get his digestion corrected, tried to get his illness treated. And wherever he went, there is a Pachmahla. In the real Nalanda also, there is a Pachmahla. In the real Nalanda, not in Alexander Cunningham's Nalanda, which you all see up here. There is a Pachmahla. Then there is a Pachmahla in Pandarak near the Buddha relic stupa. Then there is a Pachmahla next to Mokama, Moldiyar Tola, which is Ashoka's relic stupa. And there is another Pachmahla in Badhaiya, where the local village deity is Visakha, who was a lay woman and follower, one of the major followers and financiers of the Buddha, folks. So basically, Pachmahla is the Buddha's, palace. Zhang doesn't point it out. Zhang doesn't point it out. He doesn't even mention it. But Fa Hin mentions it. But Fa Hin doesn't give the position. He doesn't give the directions. So Pachmahla is Ashoka's palace. There is a well. You can be sure Ashoka drank water from that well. Folks, check out the satellite pictures, Google picture, and after that, photographs of Pachmahla, which is Ashoka's palace. Now Zhang doesn't tell us where the Ashoka's palace is. Zhang doesn't tell us where Ashoka's palace is, but his Ashoka's palace will be amongst what he created. Like up here is Ashoka's rally, that is Ashoka's bell stupa. Up here is Badiyarpur, that is Ashoka's hell. Sahanaura, which is the pillar telling the story of the hell. And then this is your rally. See, and then you have Lemuabad up here. See, Lemuabad is his relic stupa. So his palace should be somewhere here. His palace should be somewhere here. Now here, look at this. This is Pachmahla, Hanuman Mandir Pachmahla. His palace name is Pachmahla, folks. Why Pachmahla? He died of indigestion. He had stomach problems. He was having a lime when his property was snatched from him by his subservients. So basically he had stomach problem, that is indigestion sort of. Pachmahla. So this is his, Mahalla means palace, Mahalla means palace, and Pach means to have indigestion. This is the palace in which he had indigestion, folks. There are 4 or 5 palaces called palaces of indigestion, folks. So this is one of the main ones. This is Ashoka's palace, Pachmahla, which is just next to Chapera Tar Megha Gachi, which is this area. So folks, this is check out the pictures of Pachmahla. Okay now folks, and here I am carrying a brick of Ashoka's palace. This is a brick which came out from the ground. It is from Ashoka's palace, no doubt. And folks, here I am walking through a passageway between houses on both sides. Folks, they are all of the Kshatriya caste, and Ashoka was of the Kshatriya caste, so most probably they are descendants of Ashoka. See, this is another brick I pulled out from the ground, ancient brick, not available these days. This is definitely from Ashoka's palace. Imagine it, this brick housed Ashoka, and the gentleman taking me around, most probably he could be a descendant of Ashoka, folks, because this village is settled on top of Ashoka's palace. See, I am snooping around this village. Basically, Ashoka's extended family continued living in the palace, and then on the palace, and then the palace got ruined, and then they continued living. So you have the whole village settled on the palace, folks. So, folks, Panchmahla is Ashoka's palace. Ashoka had a very bad stomach illness. He was ailing with some sort of bad stomach problem, due to which I have videographed 4 Panchmahlas. All of these were Ashoka's palaces, because Pach means indigestion, and Mahala is of course Mahal is palace. Pach means indigestion, and Mahal is palace. So, folks, Panchmahla was the palace in which Ashoka lived in his last days. See, when Ashoka went outside on his long routes, the place he used to stay is today called Maharajganj. But his own palace is called Panchmahla. It's called Panchmahla because he died of indigestion. He was suffering from indigestion. So there are 4 Panchmahlas which I know. One is in Pandarak, where his Greek, just close to his Greek generals who became monks in Chintamanchak. And then the other Panchmahla is near Mokama, where his relic stupa is, that is Mordiyar Tuna. And then the third one is in Baraiya Panchmahla. Folks, that is because he would come and pay homage to Visakha. Visakha was the Buddha's chief lay woman, who was in charge of his expenses and all. She was his financier. So whenever he came to Baraiya to pay homage to Visakha's home, he would stay in Panchmahla. And then the 4th Panchmahla is in the rail, Nalanda. See, Nalanda, if you go to the rail Nalanda, there are around 12 sangramas over there. The rail Nalanda, they are all of the Kushwaha Kurmi caste. Folks, that means, and Kushwaha Kurmis were ancient doctors, the Veds. So that means Ashoka went there for treatment to the ancient Nalanda. He went there for treatment because there is a Panchmahla there too. So, folks, this is your Ashoka's palace area for you. Enjoy it, and thanks Zhang Zhang that he helped me to find out Ashoka's palace. Thank you.